You want to know how fast your world can turn upside down? I'll tell you, it takes about 3 seconds, long enough for your wife, still dazed from surgery, to get out of the car and steady herself on a crutch before some power-hungry HOA president comes charging across the parking lot like a linebacker and, with zero hesitation, kicks the crutch out from under her. Yeah, that happened. My wife almost went down right there on the concrete, and I still see it clear as day. Her shock, the pain, the way she grabbed for me. What Cheryl Davenport didn't realize, though, was the woman she just tried to take out was the county judge set to preside over the HOA's biggest lawsuit of the year. Sometimes karma skips the waiting line, you know what I mean? Let me back up a sec. My name's Jack, my wife is Sabrina, and we moved to May Purist hoping for what everyone wants, a fresh start, a place to breathe easy, maybe plant some roots, definitely not get caught up in neighborhood wars. On paper, May Purist was a dream. Trim lawns, clean sidewalks, all those neat houses that look like they fell out of a magazine. Sabrina's a judge, steady as bedrock, sharp as a tack. Me, I work legal counsel, so paperwork's my thing, and trust me, we did everything by the book. But you know how it goes. The surface is clean, but underneath, something's always festering. A couple months in, Sabrina tore her ACL hiking. Surgery, painkillers, crutches, just 6 weeks, that's all she needed. I filled out every form. Temporary parking, disability permit. You name it. The first day home, she could barely get out of the car, leaning heavy on me, pale and tired, just wanting to crawl into bed and forget the world. That's when we met Cheryl, mid-30s. Frosted bob, sunglasses so big you could see your own regrets in them, leopard leggings, walking like she owned the asphalt. Excuse me, what do you think you're doing? She snaps, making a scene. I'm Cheryl Davenport, president of this HOA. She says it like she expects the sky to open up and rain down applause. I tried explaining, temporary permit, doctor's note, everything squared away. She cut me off, flicking her hand at the crutches like they were dog dirt on a white carpet. Those things aren't allowed in common areas, she says. Sabrina, hurting but calm, tried reasoning. I'll only need them for a few weeks. Cheryl leans in, smirking. Doesn't matter if it's a day or a decade. They're against the rules. And then, with Sabrina about to take a step, Cheryl just swings her foot and boots the crutch away. Sabrina gasps, starts tipping. I barely catch her before she crashes down. That kind of anger, it's electric, you know? I told Cheryl she'd just assaulted my wife and to step back. She just smiled. You newbies don't know what I can do. Then she struts off, her little power trip complete. But, oh man, she missed something big. Our neighbor Elena was sitting on her porch, phone in hand, recording every second. That video became the fuse, but for a while, we kept it quiet, gathering evidence. That night, Sabrina's scrolling her work emails, and she starts laughing. Turns out, she'd just been assigned the HOA's civil case. Guess who's going to be the judge? She says, grinning. I asked if she'd recuse herself. She shook her head. Not yet. Let's see where this goes. That's Sabrina for you. Next day, there's a fat envelope on our doorstep. Violations. $250 for parking in an emergency zone. $250 for disturbance in a common area, and in Cheryl's neat handwriting. This is just the beginning. Welcome to May Purist. I wanted to punch a wall. Sabrina, cool as ice, just said, document everything. We're building a case. We started collecting photos, saving emails, writing down every little thing. That's when I went to see Frank. Old vet, house full of medals, handshake like a vice. Mentioned Cheryl, and his jaw clenched. She's been terrorizing this place for years, he said. Keeps everyone scared with her lawyer buddy Marcus. Frank promised he'd speak up at the next HOA meeting. She's overdue for a reckoning. The meeting was chaos. Cheryl stood up front, rattling off violations like she was a warden at a prison roll call. When I tried to speak, Marcus, her sidekick, cut me off. This isn't a courtroom, sir. Cheryl pushed through, announcing a new rule. Any medical device in common spaces needed prior written approval. She looked straight at Sabrina. As she said it, the whole room felt cold. After, Elena pulled us aside. She had a whole folder of videos and photos, proof Cheryl had been pulling this same stuff on others, elderly folks, families with little kids, anyone she thought wouldn't push back. That's when we realized we weren't alone. Sabrina started digging into the HOA bylaws. She found out 12 of Cheryl's regulations weren't even legal. No votes, no quorum, just made-up rules. This wasn't just bullying. It was a scam. So we formed our own underground committee. Me, Sabrina, Elena, and Frank. We built a simple website, let neighbors post stories anonymously. In days, 30 stories poured in. Grandma fined for a wheelchair ramp. A family ticketed for leaving their garage open. A kid's allergy accommodation denied. It was a nightmare. And then, the counterattack. Cheryl sent us a cease and desist letter demanding $100,000 for interference. We framed it and hung it in the hallway. Marcus threatened a lien on our house for $5,000 in fines. That's when Sabrina filed suit for discrimination, harassment, abuse of authority. But honestly, I was exhausted. Every day brought new threats, new headaches. One night I sat out on the porch, head in my hands, telling Sabrina maybe it wasn't worth it. Maybe we didn't belong. She squeezed my hand. We belong anywhere we choose. We fight, but we fight smart. The next day, Cheryl herself came swaggering up, all fake smiles. Tomorrow we'll be voting to expel your family from the community, she purred. I nodded, polite. But inside I was grinning. She had no idea Sabrina was the judge on her case, standing right there, crutches and all. The hearing was legendary. The place packed, neighbors shoulder to shoulder. Cheryl showed up in a red blazer, leopard skirt, dragging Marcus beside her. They put on a circus, slideshows, accusations about planters being an inch too tall, garage doors too shiny. When they finished, Sabrina stood, calm as a surgeon. According to Section 3.4 of the bylaws, any new regulation needs a 60% vote. None of these were voted on. They're unenforceable. Elena passed out proof. Frank spoke up, then neighbor after neighbor. One by one, they stood up, telling their stories, naming Cheryl as their tormentor. And then, Cheryl snapped, face red, fist slamming the podium. I make the rules, she screamed. That's when Elena rolled the video. The projector lit up, Cheryl, in full color, kicking out Sabrina's crutch. The room fell silent. Then came the whispers, then shouting. Vote of no confidence, someone yelled. The place erupted, people furious, finished with Cheryl's reign. She tried to shout over the noise. I'm still in charge. But nobody cared. Sabrina, calm as ever, looked Cheryl dead in the eye. We'll let the courts decide. And the trial? It was a rout. Cheryl dragged in a retired judge for backup, who turned out to be a real estate agent who'd played golf with an actual judge once. It was a joke. Sabrina ruled against the HOA on every count. Fines erased, fake regulations tossed. Refunds ordered. Cheryl and Marcus had to resign. And when officers led Cheryl out in handcuffs, she shrieked, Do you know who I am? Oh, we knew. Everyone did. But here's the thing, sometimes, one petty, mean-spirited kick can topple a whole regime of cruelty. And sometimes, the folks you think are weak are just getting started. So tell me, where do you draw the line? Was justice done? Or did we go too far? Drop your take below, hit like if you've seen an HOA go mad with power, and share your own wild neighborhood stories. I'll be here, reading every word.